Um, let's start with a short prayer, salutation to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Honor to him, the blessed one, the worthy one, the fully enlightened one. My utmost respect to the perfectly enlightened Samma Sambuddha, the noble doctrine of the Buddha, and the noble Mahasangha, the disciples of the Buddha. Hello, everyone. Welcome to BUCU 130 30. Okay, that is the class is 13014, right? This is diploma in Buddhist studies, historical background of Buddhist culture. And so glad to see you all, and I'm sure there are some more students who probably waiting to join, or they have some issue. I haven't seen some of them also checking the Moodle. What about you? Have you received the email from me? Okay.
No. Let me
Okay.
check. I admitted two more people since you started the prayer.
Hmm.
So some people may have joined in. Let me see here.
Yeah, I also received an email. I just saw that Sage Lake said she probably didn't receive the email because
She's on here. Yeah,
I'm
she's
here.
on.
No, yeah, I did not get the registration email, but I logged into Moodle using my email and then choosing forgot password, and I was able to get
okay,
in that way.
okay,
Thank
okay.
you.
Uh, I sent an email to the email addresses that I have in the roster. I don't know. I will double check later
No,
on.
I got that one. I got that
Oh,
one.
okay.
It
Okay.
wasn't for, I thought I was going to be getting a separate email from Moodle admin
Ah,
to register for the website, which I never got. That's what I was
ah.
referring to. But I'm good now, but
Okay,
thank
good.
you.
Right. So the idea is, I think, in my opinion, when you are added to the Moodle, and you should be getting an email automatically. That's what I think. I don't know if that is the case. Okay. Anyway, so let's get started with the with some icebreaker. I would like to hear from all of you, and I hope you also have had an opportunity to read the announcement in the Moodle, right? Did all of you open the Moodle account? Okay, everyone, Lalit. Okay, good. All right. So then hopefully we can start today. Should we start with like volunteer basis? How do you like to introduce yourself?
I can go
I'll introduce.
first.
Oh no, you
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay. So my name is Sage Lake. I have joined the program through MABA in Augusta, Missouri. Uh, I'm not sure how many classes I've gone through, but probably since January or early February. I've been taking the classes online, and they've been very enlightening as far as uncovering how much I don't know
Mhm.
about what I thought I knew a little bit more about. But essentially, I'm just trying to find my path. So that's why I'm here. And so I appreciate uh, everybody's help with that.
Wonderful. So you are from Augusta, you said?
I live in St. Charles, so it's about 20 or 30-minute drive one way. So it's very close to the
Okay.
MABA
Okay.
um, location, yes.
Okay, John,
John?
you want to?
Sure, I'll go next. Hi, my name is John. I'm in Texas, in the United States. I've been Buddhist for almost 20 years now. Been practicing Buddhism for 20 years, at least trying my best to. The longer that I am a Buddhist, the more that I realize it doesn't really matter how long you are. But that's how long I've been involved in it. And I recently, finally have the opportunity to have the time to do this. Most of my adult life, I have not, it's really come down to just scheduling. I haven't really been able to do that. So finally, I can do it. And I'm hoping that one day I can teach Buddhism, whether that's professionally or unprofessionally. I think it would be one of the greatest things that anyone can do is to spread the Buddhist teaching. So it's an honor to be here, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone that's here, and thank you to the online Sangha.
Yeah, I like that online Sangha, especially after the COVID, right? Everyone became so frustrated and they wanted to become a part of some online Sangha. And actually, I remember, first of all, like just before the COVID, I was invited to Maba and I went there actually, and we were supposed to do the class in person. I went from California, Los Angeles, and then what happened after that? The COVID came and we started online and it went on online only. And the other benefit also like that helped many other people from across the world to join. That's also another benefit that we had. Yeah. And this year we also had last year we had a really nice meeting with all the all the teachers and the students together in Maba. We had a 3 day conference or something, and we are going to hopefully meet you again in person in September, right? Do you remember the date? Okay, hope to see you soon. All right. Okay, next one, please. Yes.
Good morning, everybody, or good evening to others. Yes, my name's Abdullah Ibrahim. I'm from Amman, Jordan. That's in the Middle East. So, not Georgia or the other country in Europe or something like that. Um, I work in humanitarian relief, mostly in war zones and in refugee camps. Uh, and my interest in studying all of this is that I've always had an interest in religion and philosophy and things like that. And as I go through the material that's available about Buddhism in the Middle East, I came out extremely unsatisfied with what I found in terms of books, material, and to actually get a true understanding. It's not about belief, but actually getting a true understanding of what is this. faith overall, and what is this overall? And when I looked into history, and I found the um, the relationships that are, of course, they're all lost now because of the burning of the Baghdad library
Oh,
between the Abbasid Caliphate and the Buddhist Sanghas communities back in the past. I'm thinking there's something there. So I wanted to learn more, and that's why I joined this course.
yeah. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. That's
thank
such
you.
a so yours is Saturday. Mm.
Yeah, it's 2:41 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Like I
2:41
told
a.m.
yeah, like I said in my interview last time, I'm thinking I think if the monastics can wake up at 3 a.m., I might as well join them. So and yeah, and if you really want knowledge, you'll pursue or do whatever needs to be done. So I'm very happy to be here, very happy to learn from you, very happy to be a part of this online sangha, and let's see how it goes.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Abdullah. You're
Thank you.
most welcome here. All right. Yes.
Next. My name is Kat, and I grew up Catholic, and I felt like even at 7 years old, I wasn't being fulfilled. And then I was always asking the question, what if? What if this is all not the truth? Or what if all of these religions aren't the truth? And so I started asking at a very early age, and I would ask the priests difficult questions that they couldn't answer. And so I always knew that there was something more, that I would be serving people in some way. I thought it would be a nun in Catholicism, but not so. So I started later in life, not too many years ago, started coaching, personal enrichment coaching, but there was still something missing there. And this, I believe, is part of that bigger picture. Even though I'm 67, I'm still ticking, and I'm still gonna to help people in some way to fulfill their own spiritual quest. And I hope that Buddhism is that for them, as it is for me.
Thank you so much. That's very inspiring as well.
Thank you too for being our teacher. We really appreciate it.
All right. Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Nhật Thắm. I live in Fort Worth, Texas. I am on the training to be a bhikkhuni, probably maybe next year. I live on the Wangchu Zen monastery. 99% we are speaking Vietnamese. And the reason I'm taking the class online because I want to learn Buddhism in English and gets used to the English term in Buddhism. And then I think that's what I want to say. Yeah.
Is that close to Bante Panyakara's temple?
I'm not familiar to that name.
The peace walking monk?
Yes.
You don't know?
Anakara?
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
from, you
Fort
said
Worth,
you're from
same
Fort Worth.
city.
Yeah, I stay in I stay inside most of the time. I don't go out, so that's why I don't know much. And
Oh,
I
interesting.
came
You've been
from,
in Vietnamese.
yeah. I came from Connecticut to here, and then I stay inside here, so I don't go around, so I don't know much. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and maybe as an owner, we would say, like, I also went all the way from California to meet him in Texas because he opened the eyes of the many, and actually he brought peace to millions of people around the world. So later on, we also invited him to Sri Lanka, and he had a peace walk in Sri Lanka as well. So he's close by, close to
Oh,
your place wherever you are.
thank you.
Yes.
I can introduce. My name is Lalit Khandare. I'm associate professor at Pacific University. I teach in social work and trauma and mental health. So this is quite close to my area of study and especially the Buddhist teaching. And I have been practicing Buddhism quite early age. Uh, Originally from India, but came here for PhD and currently working here. I'm in Oregon, Portland.
Oh, nice. Are you from Mumbai?
I am from Amravati district.
Oh,
It is in near Nagpur,
okay.
uh,
Nice.
but I studied in Mumbai. Yes,
Okay. Wonderful.
yeah, and I listened to your talks and also asked you one question in Clear Mountain when you visited Clear
Oh,
Mountain.
yeah. You were there?
Yeah, I
Okay.
asked some questions. Yeah, thank
Right. Yeah, you also welcome to hear Empty Cloud Monastery in New Jersey. Yeah, I'm in New
Yeah,
Jersey
they
right.
have having a Metta conference, something.
Meta conference, yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Who else?
I can go next.
Mm-hmm.
So I am Tom Butler. I'm located in Iowa, in the United States, so just a couple hours north of Maba. Um, I am today I'm an attorney, but my academic background is in philosophy, and I spent a little bit of time as a, philosophy teacher. But my study of philosophy was almost exclusively, with the exception of one class, I think, was really focused in Western philosophy. And I've always thought that was unfortunate. And so, yeah, quite by luck, I stumbled across the program offered through MABA, and thought it sounded like a fantastic opportunity. And this is my third class, and it has been wonderful so far. So I'm really enjoying learning all about this. So thank you.
Wonderful. Tom, what were the other classes that you learned?
So the ones I've taken so far through this program.
Yes.
So I took the course on selected readings in Chinese Buddhist sutras with Kati Choi,
Okay.
and then one on Buddhist practice in the 21st century with Don Sloan.
Okay. So this is the third one.
Yes,
Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome.
thank you.
Glad to see some of those great academics also here as a part of this course. Really appreciate your humility and your flexibility and your openness to learn things. Just like Abdullah, really appreciate. Yeah, let's work together. Okay, we have two more friends.
Correct.
You able to hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm Jennifer, and I'm sorry the signal where I'm at is not so good. I started taking these courses after visiting Maba. I live about an hour and a half away, and I didn't know it was there. So I live in Illinois in the United States. Um, I happened to be looking up something online and came across it. I had tried a couple of other local area Buddhist monasteries, but they're all in Vietnamese and there's no English, and I do not speak Vietnamese, and I was really struggling to learn and to understand. So I was very grateful for Malba and for these classes. Um, I started taking classes back in January. I started with it was a course on language, and I'm of course forgetting exactly which one it was. And then we ended up taking in three foster kiddos who took up every additional ounce of time. So they have moved on, and I am finally back and able to start taking classes again. So I'm really excited to join and dive back in and learn more.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Jennifer, and for being a student of this course. And yes, I think many people, when they heard about Maba, and if you go there in person, it's such a beautiful place, very peaceful, and you can walk a lot. Really a nice place for you to have some peaceful time. Yeah, I'm sure that one day we will all be able to meet there again. All right.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes. Hi everyone. My name is Yishan Jiang. You can also call me Yi. I live in North Carolina, United States right now. I come from China and I started this program since last year, August. I recall, I think it's kind of around that time and I think this is my last class. I'm on option B of the certificate one, not the diploma. So I think this is my last class. After this, I'll gaining this certificate. But I still think a lot of concepts I'm trying to like review them and think of them again and again because some of them are really um, intense and difficult. I may go over this option B again, or I may go for the option C, like the diploma, because I think it's really interesting. I the At first I came to this program because of my academic interest, so I graduated this May with a degree in literature, and I've been interested in the topic of spirituality, death, and gender in literature. So I'm trying to find more resources online, like more affordable resources. So this is really one of the only that I find that is not that crazy expensive and also offer online option. And also it's like a weekend at night. So the time schedule is more kind of available for me as that time I was still a student, full-time student. And I'm very like among other religion, more interested in Buddhism because my grandma is a Buddhist. But as I said, I'm from China, that's a more like a culture war. Religion is not that encouraged while you grow up. So I was raised kind of guarded against of really learning more about religion. But then with a family member like my grandma, who's very devoted, so this is really a field I was very interested. So after years learning, I think I really gained a lot, not just from like my personal development. I also wanted to write more in my kind of future education, my paper, my thesis, write about Buddhism too. So really thank you for this opportunity. I think this program is really wonderful.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate all of you for opening up, and I think each and every one of you is such a wonderful unity here. We can see some unique qualities, identities in all of you. And so I think you must have already heard about me. My name is Bante Sumit, originally from Sri Lanka. And later on, I came to United States. So I became a Buddhist monk when I was 11. That is 45 years ago. And so we have in Sri Lanka more than 10,000 Buddhist temples and more than 30, 40,000 Buddhist monks. So we have been scattered all throughout the country, and they are doing a great um, not only as spiritual leaders but also as community leaders, and they do a lot of work for the well-being and happiness of the many. So Sri Lanka has become the Theravada headquarters from around third century BC. Ever since it was introduced Buddhism by Venerable Mahinda and Venerable Sanghamitta. So the two sisters, two siblings, actually brother and sister, the children of King Ashoka. So ever since Sri Lanka became such an important part of Buddhism became such an important part of Sri Lanka's culture and the whole overall upbringing of the country. And so So I'm very happy I was able to come here. And before coming here, I was in India. I was studying in India, Delhi University. I was there for 10 years, doing my bachelor's and two masters. And then I went back to Sri Lanka and I did another master in Kelaniya University, the same university that you are affiliated with right now. And then I came for my PhD here, and I did my PhD in Los Angeles University of the West. And so my dissertation is philosophy of Arahanta ideal as depicted in Mahanidesa. If you are interested in reading, you can also take a look. It's available online. Okay, so very happy to be a part of MABA, Mid-America Buddhist Association, and Venerable Kongyang and Master Jiru, and also the other professors and the whole community. And I met quite a lot of students from many different countries, many different cultures. And it has been a wonderful, wonderful journey so far. And really nice to be able to at least, contribute to open up or to cater to many spiritual demands of the people. And hopefully, if you are able to, or if you have any question, even apart from this course, I would welcome and encourage all of you to ask any question, and we can again work together and grow together. Okay. And so this historical background of Buddhist culture as part of the DBS program 2026. And so I am thrilled to be your instructor for this enlightening journey through ancient India's rich cultural heritage and the emergence of Buddhism. So this course is organized by the University of Kelaniya, Sri Lanka, and Right Mindfulness Training Academy, RMTA, USA, and has a proud history of providing quality education to students from around the world. Over the next few months, we will delve into the fascinating political, social, religious, economic, and cultural landscapes of the 6th century BC India, gaining a comprehensive understanding of the environment in which Buddhism arose and developed. So here's what you can expect from this course. Each session will explore different aspects of ancient Indian culture, from political structures to philosophical contributions and their impact on the development of Buddhism. And I encourage you to actively participate in discussions, share your thoughts, and ask questions. Your engagement is crucial for a rich learning experience. And you will have the opportunity to delve deeper into specific topics through assignments. These are designed to enhance your understanding and critical thinking skills. And I have already posted the assignments, two assignments we have. And then we also have a mock exam at the end of the course, which is very similar to the final exam, which is happening somewhere in July next year. We will use a range of texts, including The Life of the Buddha by Buddhism, a very short introduction by Damien Keown, and 2,500 Years of Buddhism, which is a little older book, and by P.V. Buffett. But I found when I was doing my masters in India, 1996. I found that was a fascinating book. So I thought, because it's such a voluminous book covering so many topics of course, I thought, even though it's old, I think it's a gold. Um, so we could have a look at that. And all these books are also available online. So for those people who find it difficult, they can have a look at online. And this is another book, Richard Gombrich, one of the premier Buddhist scholars. He's from UK, and Theravada Buddhism, Social History from Ancient Benares to Modern Colombo. Another book. We will discuss about these things later to support our learning. Okay, so please ensure you have reviewed the syllabus and are familiar with the course requirements. I look forward to our first session, and I'm excited to embark on this journey of discovery with you. Okay. By the way, do you have any questions to ask from each other? Have you met each other before? Or just bump into each other over here only? Okay. Any questions from me? So far, no? Okay, good. All right. Let me, Kat, can you also remind me, we can have a break, like 10 minutes break in between? You are mute.
In 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will have a break, like 10 minutes break, maybe after 1 hour or something.
1 hour?
1.5 hour also is okay. 1
Half
hour,
hour?
1.5 hour. So then
Okay.
we can have a little break, and then we can meet again.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Let me share this is my presentation. So today we will basically talk about our syllabus. I think little in detail. I will share mm, the presentation later on. Okay. Okay, historical background of Buddhist culture. And these are the dates that hopefully you are already confirmed. July 31, and then we have August 1 to 3 in the next 3 days, and then August 14, 15, 16, and 17, and August 28, 29, 30, and 31, September 11, 12, 13, 14, and September 25, 26, and 27 we'll have a revision, and 28 we have the mock exam. Okay, that will be more or less like your final exam. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this system. So, 6:30 p.m. And 9:30 p.m. for you, right? Central Time. I wanted to ask if that is because for me it is now here it is East Coast time. Nobody from the East Coast, right? So this is 7:30 p.m. for me from 6:30 means. If this is okay, we can still go on. So for me, I had to finish by 10:30. I have to wake up for morning meditation, early morning. So I was thinking if that is okay only for all of you, we could probably have 1 hour earlier if that is okay, agreeable to all of you. If not, that's okay.
I
Okay.
th- I think it is good. Maybe you can give some video or something for us to watch if there is something people want to listen something more. I think that is good idea.
What do you mean about the
Uh,
class?
the timing is good, but I think if anyone want to have additional reading or something like that, you can suggest.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Actually, if you want to learn a little bit more about what we do, and over here also we have a lot of programs at the Empty Cloud, and we have a monk chat every Friday. What time is it? Like 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And any one of you, if you have any question to ask from the monks, that's called monk chat. So you can just join, or you can even take a look, and we answer questions from people straight away. And then we also have a Dhamma chat through our Dhamma USA channel. That is on every Thursday. And I started the Pali class, Pali for Beginners course. That's again another online course, um, Saturday 6 p.m. Pacific time. That will be 9 p.m. here. So the thing is, because of the course, this course, I have given them a little break. So I think we will continue with that course later on too. And Sunday morning also we have a course, Dhamma talk, and over here in person we have Saturday program 6 p.m. right? 6 p.m. and 6 p.m. EST, Eastern time. That is Central Times. It should be 5 p.m. I think. And every Sunday we have a community lunch, and then we do a 3 hour meditation session and Dhamma talk. A lot of programs are here, and some of them will also be available online. If you want to have some additional information, learn to know something more about the Dhamma, Buddhism, philosophy, life in general, how, many things. Okay, we would like to help you in that way also, apart from this course. And if you still need some other help and about Buddhism in general, we always encourage and welcome you all.
Thank you.
Venerable, there's been a question. Can you please share those channels that you just mentioned?
Sure. Okay. Dhamma USA. I think it's already available in the if you check Moodle, you
Moodle.
check my profile, and you can find our website and those links. And if you want to also take a look at Empty Cloud, I think Empty Cloud easier to remember. Take a look at Empty Cloud, and our YouTube here is Buddhist Insight. Buddhist Insight. Take a look. Kat, can you also type here maybe, or if somebody, sometimes I don't see because I have the. Okay.
Also, we've got 5 yeses on the time changes, but no response outside of 5 people.
Okay. I think there is a possibility here, like for a vote, right?
Now we're up to 6.
I
6
know.
So
yeses,
is it
7 yes.
just clarification? Are we still starting at 6:30 Central Time?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Starting at Central Time, 6:30 only.
Yeah.
But if you are all okay, but the problem is here also we don't have all the students. That's another issue we have. So I wonder, maybe we will figure it out. Maybe ask all the students if they are okay with that. We can maybe have 1 hour in advance. We can start the class 1 hour in advance. Um, if not, we will continue with this time.
Yeah, it appears that everyone has answered yes
Okay, great.
for an earlier time.
Okay, 1 hour earlier, okay?
That works.
Okay, great. All right. So for now, we'll think of it that way then. Maybe I'll have to send an email again. Right. Okay. Right. So that's about the timing. And remember, this is a 4 credit course, 60 hours, and also actually all 200 hours. So that will be a comprehensive course, in fact. And okay, so these are some of my information you can also see here, dhammausa.org and dhammausa.com. And our YouTube channel is Dhamma USA. Maybe some of those videos can be helpful to many of you. Okay, so the mock exam is September 28th. It's already decided, so we will target the exam also throughout the course. Okay, and right, the mock exam is the internal exam that prepares students for the final exam. The format and duration are the same as the final exam. That means 4 questions out of 8 have to be answered in 3 hours, and that will be a closed book exam. Okay. And September 27, we will revise the class. We will actually discuss a lot of things about the background of Buddhist culture, historical background of Buddhist culture. We will do a review just before the mock exam. Then the assignment is due on first assignment August 16. So I have already posted it, and you can keep working on it. And once we are into this, hopefully you can keep working on the assignment. This is simple. I think it's not a really big deal, just 1,000 words. And the second assignment is September 14. Um, that is the due date. And also it's available already, the details about that in the Moodle. The final exam will be held in July, somewhere in July 2027. We have to wait for the Calania University to confirm the date, and once they approve, and we will go for that. Last week we had the final exam of the last year batch, and so July, somewhere in July will be the date for your final exam next year. And I'm also actually I'm planning to show you the final exam paper. Would you like to take a look? Maybe later. Yeah, Theravada Buddhism by Richard Gombrich. This is an important book for you. And again, the link of the online version is available in Moodle. Please let me know if you have any question with the Moodle. Okay, maybe many of you are okay. Maybe some of you are still, if not comfortable. If you have any issue, please feel free to let me know. And then Buddhism, a very short introduction by Damien Keown. It's another book that we would like to discuss here. I think it should be Keown. Maybe I made a mistake here. And this book, 2500 Years of Buddhism by P.V. Bapat. It covers the entire history. Very interesting book. But it's not actually a modern book. I mean, but it will be helpful at least all the way up to 21st century. Then What the Buddha Taught is a very popular book. I think this book can also be very helpful to many, especially people who are beginners to Buddhism. This little book is easy to read and you can just finish it in maybe few days or maybe a week. Walpola Rahula is a Buddhist monk from Sri Lanka. He's the author here, What the Buddha Taught, which has also been translated. I remember it was translated into 18 languages long ago. I'm sure it has been translated to many more by now. Very helpful book for beginners. So at the completion of this course, you'll be able to explain the cultural background of India in the 6th century BC and also show the cultural revolution created by Buddhism in India. We will talk about these things in detail depending on the time. And also we describe the fundamentals of Buddhist culture basically, and also connection between Buddhist culture and human rights. We will discuss so many topics. We won't be able to discuss all of them in detail, but I have actually some articles that I would like to share with you so you can read them also when you're free. And point out how Buddhist teachings differ from traditional Indian culture in theory and practice. Clarify the foundation of Buddhist culture based on its fundamentals. And also this course explains the impact of Buddhist culture on the environment. Very interesting topics are there. So it's actually a really comprehensive course. So I won't be able to go into detail of all of them, but I will try to kind of touch upon all of these. So describe the Buddhist attitude towards human rights. I heard there's a human rights. Ibrahim, you said you've about human rights, right? Language, gender, I think I heard someone talking about this also. Wealth, religious pluralism, economy, morality and ethics, social relationships, freedom of thoughts, environment, health and happiness. These will be very fascinating topics. Over here, a culture background in India in the 6th century BC is a very important topic for us to have a look. Hopefully today we will discuss about that after the break. And so these things we will cover up in the course. So lectures, discussions, exercises, assignments, group activities, and field studies. Also, if needed, we will apply. And in between, we will have some group discussion. So Zoom rooms will be hopefully made for you to discuss later on. And yeah, it is 200 hours. So lectures, tutorials, presentations, and practical sessions will be 60 hours. And then self-study, homework, field visits, surveys, social activities will be 140 hours. So altogether 200. And evaluation and assessment also very important. For your information, continuous assessment 40%, and assignments, quizzes, surveys, presentation, metrics, field studies, memory tests, and practical activities, attendance and participation 10%, assignments 30%, and then final exam 60%. And again, final exam is 4 out of 8 questions in 3 hours. Okay. So that will be the evaluation process. So, okay. So yeah, Damien Keown's book will be very helpful. So this book will cover the life and teachings of the Buddha. There are quite a number of books actually about the life of the Buddha. I have also found a number of books on this, and for this we will read Damien Keown. And that will also help you get the idea of fundamentals of Buddhist culture. And you can buy through Amazon if you want to have a book in hand, or this is also available online. And this book, Richard Gombrich, Theravada Buddhism, tracing its origins from 5th century BC India to its development in Sri Lanka as a historically agrarian cultural force. So this text highlights how the tradition adapted in social, political, and colonial pressures over centuries. And it examines how current rapid urbanization poses significant challenges to its traditional form. So this book also will be very helpful. And yeah, this is the classic little book that I mentioned before, What the Buddha Taught, a clear introduction to the core teachings of the Buddha, useful for understanding fundamental Buddhist concepts. Again, this is available online, or if you want to buy a book, you can also keep a book for yourself. And for your information, also, many of those Buddhist books are actually also available for free. If you have a library, there are some institutes that publish these books for free. I remember there is one institute in Taiwan. They have printed so many books, including this book and many more. So probably you can take a look. I'll give you details if you want. Let me know. Okay. And then again, this book can be helpful. This is by Nalin Suarez, The Buddha's Way to Human Liberation, Historical Approach. It delves into the socio-historical context of Buddhism, its revolutionary aspects, and its impact on society. And How Buddhism Began, The Condition of the Early Teachings by Richard Gombrich. This book also can be very helpful. Buddha's teachings and Buddhism and cultural and historical context. Buddhist philosophy, a historical analysis David J. Kalpan. This is rather philosophical book text. I don't want you to read it as a purely cultural book, but if you are interested in more into, I think Butler is from philosophy department, you said, right? So maybe you can, the others are also welcome to read this very classic, interesting book. Foundations of Buddhism by Rupert Getting provides a comprehensive introduction to the fundamental teachings, practices, and historical development of Buddhism. These are optional books, but they are also available online. Bhikkhu Bodhi's this book is a very fascinating book. If you are new to Buddhism, if you want to have a thorough grasp of early Theravada Buddhism, I definitely recommend, very highly recommend this book. This is called In the Buddha's Words, an anthology of discourses from the Pali Canon. This is a kind of an anthology collection of a lot of suttas. And I think this is a very, very wonderful book. Little bigger one though. But you can, if you are a good reader, take a look. Culture Heritage of India, Volume 1, Haridas Bhattacharya. This book also explores the background of India in the 6th century. Again, this is an interesting book. So you don't have to read all of them. See how much, how you can manage. Any of these books can be helpful for more background and extra knowledge, information about this subject. Buddhism and Human Rights. So a very interesting book. Damien Keown, Charles Prebish, and Wayne Hastert. We will talk about this topic also, Buddhism and human rights, and language, gender, and religious pluralism. We will cover through this as well. Buddhist Ethics, a very short introduction by Damien Keown. A lot of books have been selected for Damien Keown, so his books have been very helpful. This book talks about the Buddhist ethics and their application to modern issues, such as environment, health, and happiness. And Engage Buddhism. Again, this is another movement that is rampant in many parts of the world. In fact, Engage Buddhist movement is a very powerful Buddhist movement. So you can see how the Buddhism move all the way when Buddhism lost its ground in the motherland, India, and it went on to Sri Lanka and deeply rooted, very deeply rooted there in that tiny little small island. And then it expanded to many other countries as well. From there, through Silk Route and also through maritime Buddhism, we call, as Dr. Lancaster calls it, maritime Buddhism. Through maritime trade also, the religious activities spread all across the world. So Buddhism also had a lot of impact spread throughout the world through maritime trade activities. And so Engage Buddhism is another fascinating subject. A Tree of Enlightenment, an introduction to major traditions of Buddhism by Peter Santner. This covers the development of Buddhist traditions and their cultural impact. Again, these are not required. All of them are not required, just as optional and additional resources for you. And free online resources are there. Very important hub is the Sutta Center. Sutta Center has translations of early Buddhist texts, the entire Pali Tipitaka, and the Pali canons and their commentaries, sub-commentaries, sub-commentaries. It's a massive literature. So we don't have translations of all of them. But Pali literature, I mean the Pali canons have translations. Sutta Central has the most number of translations. You can find also the Sanskrit equivalents and other languages translated into other languages, European languages and Asian languages. You can find whatever language. Mostly they are available through Sutta Central. So, and also Sutta Central has a lot of discussions, forums, very practical discussions are there in Sutta Central. So take a look at this wonderful site. Have you taken a look at this site before? Sutta Central?
I have. It's a great site.
Yes,
It's
yes.
many things to look up there.
Mm-hmm. Very helpful. You can meet a lot of good friends there as well. Access to insight, actually. Although now I think access to insight is not actively updated. I think it's no more there, but you still can see translations mostly by Bhikkhu Thanissaro, Ajahn Jeff. And there are other translations also. I found like when you Google some sutta, so many Pali suttas, you can find the translation here. So access to Insight is another free online resources. I think later on, Ajahn Thanissaro, Bhikkhu Thanissaro, he had his own Dhamma Talk, dhammatalk.net something. So you can see the same translations and more in that.
Are you ready for break?
Okay. All right. So let's take a break now, and then we will see you in 10 minutes. Okay. So our topic is historical background of Buddhist culture, right? Now let's discuss a little bit. So what does Buddhism mean to you? Can you say in a sentence or two? If you like to talk, you can talk, or if you like to text also is okay. What does Buddhism mean to you? Yes?
Buddhism means to me a journey of self-exploration and holding myself accountable. And in order for me to help others do the same.
Beautiful.
I guess I'll say so as someone who is both very new to this and somewhat of an outsider, Buddhism to me is it straddles in a fascinating way both religion and philosophy, which is what has really drawn me to it and made me so interested in it to this point.
Okay.
Okay, I can share. So, and it may be not easy to capture in just few sentences. But for me, I think the exposure to Buddhism came primarily understanding the social realities in India and how the society, because of compassion deficit or lack of compassion, how people are distinguished based on their identities and things like that, or gender, caste, and other things. So that was my initial introduction. And over the years, I realized, like, for me personally, how I understand the world or day to day, every moment, at micro to macro level, uh, and trying to refine that understanding, right understanding. Uh, and then I personally feel uh, the more one can refine oneself and be compassionate towards oneself, then uh, one can help others share that compassion. Yeah.
Thank you. I can see behind you there's great B.R. Ambedkar,
Yes.
the one champion who led 1 million people to Buddhism in 1956.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you are close to Diksha Bhumi, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Abdullah.
Yes, so just gonna, piggyback off what Tom said, also because my perspective is also a perspective of an outsider. So, to me, coming into contact with Buddhism was, to me, a little bit of a cultural shock because like so many of the questions that Buddhism tries to tackle and answer, I've seen so many different answers to it, but it never looked like this. So it was challenging, but at the same time, it really expands the mind. So I wanted to add that point.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mhm.
I will say a couple words. I'm going to kind of bounce a little bit off of what Kat had said at the beginning in her introduction when she was talking about how she was raised Catholic. I was raised Catholic as well, and how she had lots of questions when she was young, as did I. So very similar stories there. However, I've recently come to Buddhism and learning about it. What it means to me is I believe that the words of the Buddha and the way that the Theravada tradition is teaching to others helps me understand my relationship, and not in how I should be, but how I ought to be in relation to myself and in relation to others. And that's just my spiel there.
Okay, thank you. So we have, I think here in America, we have two different um, types of Buddhists. One is the traditional Buddhist, and the others are the convert Buddhists. So mostly like raised and born as Catholics or other people, and then they have moved to this path. And the traditional Buddhists are people from those traditional Buddhist countries. And I'm not sure Lalit if he was born into the his forefathers, if they are Buddhist, maybe yes.
No, I was born Hindu,
Okay.
but I have my very lot of friends from my close, and my wife is Buddhist, born Buddhist. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the even in America, like mostly in the West Coast, I find I meet actually a lot of traditional Buddhists. We have around more than 20 Buddhist Sri Lankan temples in California. So in the East Coast, I deal with mostly the other community, the other tradition, um, Empty Cloud and New York and New Jersey and other parts of this area. Mostly I meet convert Buddhists. So very fascinating to meet both of them, and they have their own unique traits that can benefit, I think, mutually. As many of you know, Buddhism is about compassion and wisdom together. So we find them in beautifully merged into, and we see all of them living so beautifully together. What about our Vietnamese friend?
I think there are some messages in the chat. I think.
Oh, yes. Can somebody please read that? Any volunteer?
I can
I
read
can.
mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I think Buddhism is a wisdom because I think if I follow his teaching from what I learned, follow his path, I can feel that I can live in peace and freedom in every situation that when I deal with people, thing to do. And then for my own experiments, if somebody have same experiment that I have in the past, I can help them and tell them what I've been through, and this is how I suffering from here, and then be better this way. That's what I think.
So what about your forefathers? Are they also Buddhists?
Who?
Your parents and grandparents?
My parents, they are Buddhists, yeah, but they don't believe much. Just like I don't know how my I become a nun, but my parents they that's okay here. But my plan in the future, if I can live peace, then I can help them in the future to help them understand more. That's my goal in the future.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Because
Okay.
in the Buddha teachings, say your parents are the number one that important to you because of them that have you, you know. Yeah.
I think that is one reason why Buddhism went to mainland China, because of, you know, Buddhism talks about this, the very, very close affinity between the children and the parents. In Dunghuang caves, you can see some of those Jataka tales that talk about how Buddhism really, really encourages the children to take care of the parents. Mahatu Posaka Jataka, for example, is a Jataka story where the Bodhisattva, the Buddha to be, he rescued his mom, parents, and he was taking care of them. There are a lot of Buddhist literature encouraging children to take care of the parents. So in mainland China, I think that's a very serious thing. um, so Buddhism somehow found a niche of its own there, apart from Confucianism and then what do you call Taoism. Ji Huang, what do you think?
Sorry, you mentioned me.
Yes.
Um, yeah, this is definitely as in my self-introduction, I mentioned this too. So except my grandma, as a, who's a Buddhist, all my other family members, and including myself, almost everyone I've known from like mainland China, well, I've spent like almost 20 years there. Are atheist. So like this thing of religion, this concept of this is not really introduced to us, like in school or in other kind of ways, directions. So this is really even, I feel like I'm at the beginning of getting to this topic of religion, not necessarily say I will be religious, but I really want to learn more about it. This idea of that even makes me feel like a little bit some of rebellion because it's really not a thing that well I come from will really kind of support, but it's they don't necessarily like against or don't allow you to do that, but it's really you seldom see children kind of was born in such kind of culture or schools. um, so yeah, I definitely feel that's a very different kind of environment compared to here or other countries in the world. But there's also strong like kind of Buddhist culture there in China. But it's very kind of interesting, this contradictory with that strong influence, thousands of years of like Buddhist text culture. But now we are not like teaching them or like letting kids to know what is happening there. Um, yeah, so definitely. I can feel that.
Right, right. Okay. So, yes, I think Buddhism has a lot to offer with regard to wisdom. And also throughout history, we can see a lot of cultures. You know, I think any any kind of religion, if they survived for a long time, that definitely has to do with some kind of a culture. So Buddhism has somehow beautifully merged with so many different cultures. When Buddhism came out of India, it beautifully merged with the Sri Lankan local culture. Venerable Mahinda, he introduced a wonderful tree, a sapling of Bodhi tree to Sri Lanka. And that became such an iconic cultural symbol in Sri Lanka. Remember, this was in 300 BC, 3rd century BC. And even today, you can see the Bodhi tree in Anuradhapura. So that is the oldest historical, historically recorded, religiously venerated, respected tree in the world, we could say. I know there are trees here like in California. We have very ancient trees, really beautiful, wonderful trees, very ancient, age-old trees. But that particular tree is very, very unique. It has become an iconic symbol of the country. So culturally was so important because those days people were really respecting the nature And so people woke up in the morning and they would, bow to the sun, and they bow to the trees, they bow to the rocks. When they see a huge tree, they think there is a tree god. So see how they were, their affinity with the close proximity with the nature was such, and they kind of respected that. But today, if you see that, if you see a huge tree, that's just some financial gain for someone, right? Those days it was not like that. And when they saw a huge rock, they thought there is a deva or celestial being. So they also have some, some rituals to respect that. So it looks like a blind faith, but see how they were very faithful and very grateful to the nature, thankful to the nature. Because of that, the nature they survived. And today we see how this ultra modern, technologically so advanced world, what do we do? We have no concern about the nature, right? Few years ago, the Amazon forest was burning. We can talk about that later on. And we see El Nino is hitting very hard in many countries. In Asia also is really suffering now. And the wars, you see how they are not really caring about the people. They don't care about the nature, environment, the wild animals. They don't care. But those days, somehow they thought the rain was a god, the lightning was a god, and the river was a god, everything a god. So such wonderful, faithful, respectful attitude towards the nature really saved the world those days. So that was a cultural aspect, and that was inherited in Buddhism too. We can see that. Do you have any kind of Buddha statue or anything that you want to share with us today? Any part of the culture? I can see that, John. Would you like to show us anything about the culture? Any cultural symbol that you have? Please show us. I know Yihuan said, okay, you're not familiar with this.
I
Okay,
can't
look at
show
that.
you. I can't show you, but I have a whole, I'm in a different level of my house, but I do have an altar in my special room. Yes.
Okay. Yes, Abdullah.
Yes, so I can't also it's in a different place in my house. Now I don't have again this maybe was out of ignorance, but I'm learning still. I have a Buddha, but not a Buddha.
Okay.
I have a small one. It was given
Mm,
to me as a gift when I left China. So
mm,
I had a like my fir- again I was as I was talking in the chat, I had my first encounter with Buddhism in China. So visiting various temples and places, understanding the culture there, and that was where my interest first started.
mm.
And I remember the translator. She said, "You're the perfect tourist. You're the perfect person." Like she loved all the passion, and she gave it to me as a gift, and I still have it here. So.
Did you
But
visit?
I thought, I'm not gonna lie, for a long time I thought it was a Buddha, but then as I was reading, no, I realized that's a different character. So that's why, yeah.
Did you visit Sichuan, the giant
Uh,
Buddha?
Si- Sichuan, I went to Shudo Mountain, so I did not go there yet. So I was only
Okay.
there for for certain business, but I had one day free, and for some reason I wanted to go see this, and it just
Mm,
happened, and now I'm here. So
okay.
yes.
All right. John, what do you have? Mm, where did you get it from?
So I actually got this somewhere unexpected. I got this in Cancun, Mexico. And it was the only like Buddha statue I saw while I was there, and I really liked it. And I think it's like a Thai style maybe. But I actually used to have a wood Buddha statue of the Buddha standing, and it was from a temple that had burned down in the 1800s.
Hmm.
And I actually gave that statue to a monk because he seemed to actually that a monk gave me that statue, and then I gave that statue to another monk. So, and now I don't know where that statue is because that was a few years ago.
Very interesting that you mentioned it. Recently, I visited Los Angeles. There was fire in Los Angeles. So I visited some neighborhood. Most of the houses were completely burnt. So we were just walking through and praying for the people and the all the sentient beings around. And then suddenly we had like 4 months. We were all walking together through these burnt houses and the properties. And suddenly, a couple they asked, "Are you Buddhist monks?" We said yes. Okay, please come. So they showed us their house. It was completely burnt too, but um, magically there was something that they really wanted to show us. That was a Buddha statue. Only the Buddha statue was not burnt. Somehow, that is really, really amazing. And then I took a picture of that. Maybe if I find it, I'll show it to you someday. Yeah, I showed actually in my Facebook. Very fascinating. And during the tsunami, we have a lot of stories about how the Buddha statue, survived. When everything else was washed away. The trains were upside down and huge buildings were down, and still the Buddha statue survived. And even some people were rescued by the Buddha statue. Very interesting. And recently, one of the fellow faculty member of this course, Venerable Kusala, he was in a kuti in Michigan, or maybe, oh yeah, in St. Louis only. And what is that? Dhamma. Do you know that Dhammasukha meditation center? He was in a kuti and the whole kuti was gone. And he showed in his video the Buddha statue was there, a very small one. Interesting. What is that? Oh, that is the laughing Buddha, right?
Yes, that's the gift that I got. So might as well got I went up, so I wanted to show it to everybody. So
Okay. That's called
yes.
laughing Buddha, I think.
Yeah, and like I said at the beginning, I thought it was something different, but as I learned more, no, this is the laughing Buddha. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So the culture is very fascinating again, right? We humans, throughout this history, we have been enjoying many cultural activities. And although Buddhism's core teaching does not highlight the cultural aspect, and the Buddha talk about actually as Nath mentioned, it's about the wisdom. And many of you are also, I think, very fascinated about the Buddhist, insight meditation, vipassana, like self-investigation, look into yourself, that analytical and wisdom faculty of Buddhism. But then we also see so much culture, such a rich cultural heritage is there with Buddhism. Mostly in Mahayana Buddhism, this cultural aspect in popular Buddhism was very, very very powerful. And even in Theravada Buddhism, although they talk less about, they are actually supposed to talk less about rituals, less about cultural things, but still they can't survive with it. I remember when I was little, we saw a lot of beautiful cultural pageants. The monks were walking along the streets, and then people were holding colorful flags, Buddhist flags, and then there were like drum beatings, and then conch shell. And so when the monks were walking, all these things were there, and it really attracted the whole community. They hear the like in my hometown is in a hill country, so from one mountain to the other, we can we can see them walking, and we can also hear the drum beating, and also we can see this beautiful cultural pageant. So it really attracts a lot of children and other people. Very fascinating. So over here, the Buddha talks about Buddhism. He says, "Ehi passiko." Ehi passiko means he doesn't say, "Oh, come and embrace me." No, he says, "Come and see. Come and see." Ehi passiko. So in Vipassana also, we means specially or take a deep look. Vipassati is to look. So, seeing something special, look into yourself and see something special, see the profound truth of yourself. That is what Buddhism, I mean, Vipassana meditation is all about. So both these things are there in Buddhism. So culture is a really fascinating subject. And that is why we have Buddhist paintings all over the world. Last time when I was in Chicago, I went to Chicago Maba Center too. And I went to Chicago Museum. So beautiful. I saw lots and lots of so many different Buddha statues and many other art and craft. Really nice. So wherever I go, I would also like to see museums. Museums talk about our history and how this ancient world, they produced so many different Buddha statues. See how the Buddha statue John had, and it's actually so many decorations, right? Usually the robe was made of just simple look. A rich cultural heritage. You can see the very colorful and a lot of ornaments, but the Buddha would never wear such a robe. That's how it goes. People feel very fascinating, attractive towards these things. The robe was made out of the funeral cloth. The bodies were dumped into the cemeteries those days. Then the monks, they took the clothes, and then they also used some traditional herbs to dye, and also to kind of cleanse. That way, I myself have done that when we were little. We dyed the robe by ourselves. We made our own robe. And over here we have a sewing room, so we can make our own robe. Very interesting, those traditional ways. And they are all part of the culture. So very important topic that we want to discuss. So during the Buddha's time, in India, what was it like? There were so many different perspectives. It is said 62 different views were there. Many different people. Some people were immersed in the water, and they thought they can cleanse their defilements that way. And some people were surrounded by fire. So that way they thought they could, burn out the defilements. They were actually experimenting. Really, we need to appreciate, we need to really consider that context during that time. And some people were torturing, what we call self-mortification. They were torturing themselves. They were living like dogs, they were living like gods, and living like different animals, and living with such minimal lifestyles. So by torturing themselves, they thought they could, burn out their own evil spirits. Interesting. And to them went also the Buddha, and he went to those practitioners, and there were some who were standing on one leg, standing on one leg for hours and hours and hours. What did they do? Like they were also trying to experiment. How can they focus? Razor focus. You can't really lose your attention when you are in one foot. You have to be really balanced, right? So they were all trying that, and um, many wonderful practices were there. So Buddha also actually experimented. He went to the best available spiritual masters those days, and he also underwent a lot of self-torturing practices. It is said he even stopped breathing. Like what happens if we close our mouth? We breathe through the nose, right? How about if we close our nose and mouth both? We will breathe through the ears, you know. And so he even would stop that. It is called Apanaka Jhana. There's a particular absorption. He would do that also, and it is said his head was about to be exploded. They were all trying so many different ways. Recently, I watched a video which was very interesting actually. One Indian sadhu, he made a vow. He just had his hand like this, okay, raised his hand, and he made a vow never to take it down. Can you imagine? He was that was his vow. To do that, you need a lot of courage, lot of determination, and the other people might say, "Oh, what nonsense!" But I mean, they were so passionate about, and everything else in his life he was doing with the other hand. Yeah, look at that. Oh, thank you. Yeah, look at that. And there are quite a few people doing like that. And now, once you do it for a long time, you can really take it down. You have to
I don't know
break.
if they can see unless I don't know if they can see my
Oh,
screen or not.
let me make it.
I can see it.
Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Oh, wait. Now you can see, right? See what happened to his palm, and it's totally distorted. Who raised his arm one day and never put it down. And he does everything else, like his own all the other bodily activities he does just with that. So all these cultural things were there during the Buddha's time, and so he found this self-mortification is not going to help. And he also had already a very luxurious lifestyle, so he knew that's also not working. One day he saw four signs. Do you remember the four signs he saw? He saw four signs when he was walking, visiting his royal park. One day he saw an old man So the king himself was kind of restricting him, seeing those very elderly, weak, old, and sick people. He didn't want to show them to his son because he heard from the astrologers, and this guy is going to live one day, So the king wanted to make sure that he is full of luxury, so he is kind of get lost in the in this luxurious lifestyle, full of passion. But he saw that old man and he asked his charioteer, "Who's that?" And he had to explain, "This is an old man." "What is an old man?" This is life, this is very natural. Everyone gets old. "Oh, do I get old too?" "Yes. And my wife, son, everyone gets old." And so he kind of had a very profound discussion with his, and then he felt, "Oh, this is not really good." He was like upset, and he came back to um, the palace, and he didn't want to go to the park. And another day he saw a sick man, somebody who was very sick, and then he asked the charioteer, "Who's that?" And he was a sick man. "Who's a sick man?" "Everyone gets sick. No matter how powerful you become, you still get sick." We saw that. We saw that in the recently concluded uh, COVID. Even those so-called people, some people believed like they were like untouchable, unassailable. But COVID went infiltrated to all those powerful people. And so this is an integral part of our life. And so he came back. And the other day he saw a dead person. And then he learnt about that life is impermanent. No one is permanent. No one is going to live forever. So um, he saw these signs, and finally he saw an ascetic, a practitioner, a monk. He found that, "Who's this? This is a truth seeker, seeker of the truth." And he was very inspired by that. Okay, I should try that. So by renouncing his life, secular lifestyle, those comfortable, luxurious, royal lifestyle, he renounced all of them. He went to the forest, he practiced, and he went to the other extreme. That is the self-mortification thing. And then it didn't work, so he moved to middle path. And that is why how he was able to regain his energy, and he practiced and he kept on practicing. And then through vipassana, insight meditation, and through this middle path, and also realized the dependent origination, which is a very unique teaching in Buddhism. These are actually some of the core teachings of Buddhism, and really, really very modern and advanced, really important teachings. So he was able to attain enlightenment, his final liberation, the spiritual goal, at the age of 35. And from that time onward, for the next 45 years or so, he was walking barefoot. He was walking barefoot. He went to his five disciples, those spiritual companions who were attending to him before, when he was practicing self-mortification. And actually they left him, but he went to them. He was walking 200 kilometers from Gaya, or Bodh Gaya, to Sarnath, Varanasi, all the way, and like walking himself and barefoot, he wanted to go meet them and teach them the Dhamma because he knew they were just about to blossom. They were just about to blossom. They just needed something to fix, and he knew these are the best companions he could help next in line. And that's how he was teaching the first sermon. And then they became, one of them became Sotapanna Kondanya. So the first sermon was taught in Saranath, Varanasi, Deer Park, we call Migadaya. And this particular teaching, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, was such an important teaching. And it talks about the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path. Really very important sutta. And so he went on teaching the Dhamma, and he also was able to expand his disciples, the monks. They are really wonderful. So he started with 5. He was never worried. At the beginning, he was little hesitant to teach this profound Dharma, but he knew like there are some people with less dust in their eyes. So he probably wanted to help those people because this Dharma, this teaching is very difficult to understand. The wisdom, the Vipassana thing, not so fascinating, not so easy. So he was going for them, those people who were interested in Buddhism. And then during that time, there were all kinds of, there was a caste system, different kinds of people like priestly class, Brahmins, and they were almost, controlling the whole thing. And also royal class, what we call Kshatriya or Khattiya in Pali, and they were the ruling class, and then the business class. So they were the people what we call Sethis, like Anathapindika was a millionaire those days. So he was a business class a person, and there were many more. So, and other people were just laborers and with such low, lesser privileges in the society. And so the Brahmin decided, or they thought, they all came from Mahabrahma. So Brahmins came from the mouth of the Brahma. Interesting. And the royal class, they came from the shoulders of the Mahabrahma. And the business class people, they came from the belly of the Mahabrahma. And the other lower class people, what we call laborers, they came from the feet of the Mahabrahma. So apparently that looks like very weird, but the idea is also very interesting. The Brahmins were mostly like teaching, chanting, they use mouth. So, so mouth was important to them. And then the royal class people, not like today, they were real warriors, very strong. Today we see like very old people, like they're like not so strong, but those days they were real physically strong people. And that's why they were like warriors. They had to go to war, you know, with the sword and the arrows. It was not like guns those days. So they had to be really strong. And that's why they were born from the shoulders, strong parts. And then the business class people, they were actually feeding the people. So they were working on the economy of the country. They had to go with a lot of cattle, hundreds and thousands of cattle. They were carrying stuff and from one place to another, hundreds of kilometers. We see even the story of the Silk Route. many thousand miles, and how they were, still traveling through those very life-threatening routes. They were all walking through these paths, and they were the people who were walking on this. So they were called business class or vaishyas. And then the other people who were really working on the ground, they were the laborers. And unfortunately, they did not have many privileges. If they wanted to get education, they can do it. They just have to do whatever they do. But the Buddha opened avenues for all of them. That is the most beautiful thing. He allowed anyone to join the his disciples, his sasana order. For example, Sunita was a scavenger. He was just a road sweeper, and he allowed him to come and become a monk. And later he became an enlightened monk, and he was even respected by the kings later on. Very interesting how the Buddha allowed all kinds of small rivers um, come to the great ocean, and when they all joined the great ocean, it became just one salty taste. So the Buddha said all kinds of people, all different castes, classes, they all were allowed in Buddhism. And the women's situation was really, really dark, very unfortunate. And he even allowed the women to become bhikkhunis. And they had also equal shareholders. They have been equally important in Buddhism. Buddha Sasana. So the bhikkhus and the bhikkhunis and the upasakas and the upasikas, the fourfold assembly, what we call, monks and nuns, and the lay men and women, lay disciples. They were all equally important in this beautiful journey because they were helping each other. Lay people were helping the monks with the four requisites. Uh, what we call Chivara, Pindapata, Senasana, and Gilana Pache. Chivara rope, a Pindapata food, and Senasana the dwelling places for them to live, and then Gilana Pache the medical facilities, just little medicine they want. They of course had no medical insurance those days, so people had to provide a little bit of medical support. And the monks and the nuns, they were teaching the Dharma. They were sharing their practice and compassion and wisdom with them in return. That's how they were so beautifully um, working together throughout the last 2,500 years of history. And we will talk more about that in tomorrow and in the other classes. And I think it is time for us to wind up. And thank you everyone for joining us today. Kat, do you like to take a screenshot of the class? Maybe please open your camera. Today is the first day.
Yeah, let me see how I can do that here.
Anyone knows how to take the screenshot?
See if I can get everybody.
Yes.
So, are we starting tomorrow at 5:30 Central Time? Or finishing early? How is it working tomorrow?
So today we all agreed 5:30 is okay, right?
Yeah.
For me, few classes will be good, but later I need to teach class, so it's difficult. But I can join a regular time, 6:30, after few classes. But
Okay, maybe for this week then we will have 6:30 because maybe some other people who didn't attend today, they will have difficulty. So let's work on this week, and later I'll also send an email. Is that okay?
Yeah.
good, yeah.
Okay.
Does
Okay.
anyone know how to take a group photo from I'm not real
Okay.
savvy on how to do that.
Okay, Nat will do it.
I took one. Okay.
Okay,
Oh, you
good.
did?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, Jennifer, are you here? Can you
She
open
said she was,
are
there
you
she is.
able to open your camera?
She's still traveling, I think.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay. Sorry, so we should not disturb you, please. Drive safe. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful good night. You can also save the chat here. There is a way to save the chat, and maybe someone please
Let
share
me
that.
see here.
You can save the chat. If you go to BUCU 13014, historical background of Buddhist culture, and there is three dot, right? And save chat. It will save to your click. And later on, maybe we can share it in the email or maybe I don't know if it is possible in Moodle. Please take a look at Moodle. You can also answer some questions there. Okay. Thank you and have a wonderful good night. May you all be
Thank
well,
you.
happy, healthy. Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Good
Thank
day.
you. Get good rest.